Hi, my name is Colin Shaw. I'm the founder of Beyond Philosophy, and today we're continuing our interview with Darren Cornish, who's the Director of Customer Experience at Norwich Union, part of the Aviva Group. So tell me about the presentation that was given to the senior executive team on the Customer Experience Mirror.
Just to bring to life a couple of things that the execs saw that day when we presented the motor claim part of the external mirror and the moments of truth. When Colin's team, when the chap working for Colin, Beyond Philosophy, made the initial call from the national park where he deliberately reversed into the tree, made the initial call and advised that he was 5 miles from his office when this incident occurred, advised our claims team was 5 miles from the office when the incident occurred, but 100 miles from home, and needed to desperately get to his office for a business meeting. The advice given was that the policy wording stated that the vehicle, if there's an incident away from home, the vehicle must be towed to a garage nearest to the home, rather than to the 5 miles away where the garage would be. So from a cost perspective, organising a recovery vehicle to tow a car 100 miles when the customer's actually saying, I'm quite happy for it just to be taken 5 miles up the road and stuck in a garage there, that works better for me because I need to get the lift with the recovery truck to get to my business meeting. And just the audio recording of our response, and what was really encouraging is the exec, not for 1 minute were they frustrated with the chap who answered the phone in Norwich Union, because what he was simply doing was following the policy and the process that the business had instigated, and in fact he followed it very well, and he was courteous and he was polite, but the policy or process was totally inside out and added cost and frustrated the customer immediately after an accident. Terrible. In fact, before that, the recording I particularly remember, and I still use when I talk this through, I still have it on my laptop, was when you take out a motor policy with us at the time, you get a little wallet card which said, in the event of an accident, phone 0800, etc., etc. Beyond Philosophy, the chap in the car, phoned that number and has recorded the response, which was, mobile phones are not recognised in this number. This number is not obtainable through a mobile phone. So you can imagine the scenario. Someone's had an accident, they're shaking, they're finding it very difficult to find their details, they've got their phone in their hand. Then after eventually getting through, having this conversation about whether the car had to be towed, the conversation followed in that our agent asked the customer if there was anything else that needed to be conveyed, and to which the customer from Beyond Philosophy said, I can vaguely smell petrol. To which our agent's response to that was, well, you need to phone emergency services. We need to cut this call, you need to phone emergency services. But there was no advice around, you might want to get away from the vehicle. and it was a real sense of, I now want to get off this call, as opposed to actually help you through this situation. The recovery truck then turned up, and hopefully we'll be able to see on this video I've still got a scanned copy of the receipts. So the chap who'd made the claim was in the recovery truck next to the driver. And as the driver did eventually drop him off at his office after lots of begging and pleading, the chap who purportedly owned the car on the back of the recovery truck said, hey, can I have a receipt? Because I don't know who you are. And, actually it's been quite complicated getting you to here. I'm waiting an hour and a half, and I need some evidence that you're the person who should be the person taking my car away on the back of your truck. The driver looked quite shocked by this, but reached down into the footwell and tore off the top end of a McDonald's brown carton bag and scribbled his phone number on there. On getting into the office, into the Beyond Philosophy office, the consultant we were working with who'd had the accident called the number, and it was number not obtainable. This stuff for a blue chip brand would just have been invisible to us. It's simply, unless it had come through in a formal complaint, and we all know that the vast majority of customers are are likely to be in the bottom of the iceberg, the silent dissatisfieds. And that level of detail we just would not have got to, and yet the emotional impact on the customer's perception of us as an organisation was clearly very, very significant. So some really, really profound stuff. One of the things that I'd started in 2003, 2002, just before we did these external mirrors. So we'd done the car. We also flooded a flat, which was in fact when Bunsfield, people may remember the Bunsfield gas explosion. When Bunsfield went up on the Sunday morning, I was getting phone calls from directors within Norwich Union saying, "Now you've gone too far," because there was a worry that this was another moment of truth, external mirror. But I promised Bunsfield that neither the floods, nothing. But we flooded a flat, which was again just a astounding insight into what would happen to a customer who returns home from work to find that their flat is flooded.
So why did you choose flooding a flat?
Well, what we knew in terms of our property claims was that most of the customer experience during a claim was actually delivered by our suppliers and partners. Now the customer still was paying us the premium, but actually we'd effectively outsourced the key moments of truth when those claims occurred. And as a result of which our true understanding and insight into what that experience felt like for the customer when they were dealing with a building contractor, when they were dealing with the humidifying company, etc., was our knowledge and understanding that was weaker than it would have been in terms of the service coming from inside our own organisation. So that added a really useful focus to the external mirror in the flooded flat.
Thanks very much, Darren. So this is the end of this clip on how Norwich Union have gone about improving their customer experience. There is a series of other clips that you'll hear Darren speaking on, and we hope you check those out. And in the meantime, if you'd like any further information, then please check out our website.